Many people believe that keeping blood sugar levels as low as possible is the ultimate goal for health. But for seniors, this could be a grave mistake. For those over 70, that perfect A1C score of 6.0 might actually be a silent death sentence for your precious cognitive functions and memory. It is time to shatter the old medical myths and understand why these beautiful numbers might be stealing your brain's vital energy every single day. When we push the body too hard to meet youthful standards, we often forget that the aging brain has very different requirements for survival and health. The traditional approach to diabetes management is changing, and ignoring these updates could lead to irreversible damage to your mental clarity and independence. We must look beyond the screen of the testing device to see what is actually happening inside the complex neural networks of the elderly mind. A beautiful blood sugar reading on paper does not always translate to a healthy life. Sometimes it indicates a brain that is literally starving for fuel. Let us dive deep into the science and the stories of those who learned this lesson the hard way, before it is too late for you. Meet Robert, a 71-year-old man who was once the pride of his clinic for his impeccable discipline in managing his type 2 diabetes. He followed every instruction, took every pill, and watched his diet with extreme precision, believing he was securing a long and healthy future. His notebook was a testament to his success, filled with rows of perfect numbers that his doctors praised during every single checkup he attended. But slowly, the light in his eyes began to fade as he started forgetting the simple names of his own beloved grandchildren during family gatherings. One afternoon, Robert found himself standing on a familiar street corner, unable to remember the way back to the home he had lived in for decades. His family feared it was the onset of Alzheimer's disease, watching helplessly as the man they knew slipped away into a cloud of confusion. They did not realize that Robert's brain wasn't just aging, it was being systematically starved of the glucose it needed to function properly. The medical term is neuroglycopenia, a state where the brain lacks enough sugar to maintain its complex electrical and chemical signaling processes. Every time Robert's blood sugar dipped too low from his medication, thousands of his neurons were struggling to survive in a low-energy crisis. The very treatment meant to save him was instead stripping away his identity, one memory at a time, under the guise of perfect control. His story is a tragic warning for millions of seniors who are being over-treated in a quest for numbers that don't fit their age. To understand why this happens, we must look at the unique biology of the aging body and its changing relationship with blood sugar. As we age, our blood vessels become less flexible, making it harder for vital nutrients to reach the deepest parts of our brain tissue. The brain is a massive energy consumer, and when sugar levels are forced too low, these cells begin to shrink and lose their connections. Think of the elderly brain like an old tree in a drought. It needs a higher level of water just to reach the furthest branches. In the same way, the brain requires a certain pressure of glucose to ensure every neuron is fed and can communicate with its neighbors. Medical science now recognizes that perfusion, the delivery of blood to tissues, requires higher systemic levels in seniors to maintain cognitive health and stability. What is considered a safe level for a 30-year-old could be starvation for a 70-year-old due to these structural changes in the vascular system. When you use aggressive medication to force sugar levels down, you are essentially cutting off the power supply to the body's most important organ. The tools we use to measure health can become deceptive if we don't adjust our goals to match the reality of an aging biological system. Research is proving that maintaining a slightly higher blood sugar level in the elderly can actually preserve memory and prevent the onset of dementia. It is a delicate balance where the perfect number on the meter might be the most dangerous number for the actual person being treated. The evidence of this damage isn't just in behavior. It is clearly visible in the cold, hard images of brain scans. Comparing a healthy brain to one subjected to chronic low blood sugar reveals a shocking degree of atrophy and tissue loss over time. These white matter lesions are like scars from battles the brain lost because it didn't have the energy to repair and maintain itself. Many seniors experience night sweats or sudden confusion upon waking, unaware that these are signs of dangerous blood sugar drops during the night. These minor episodes of hypoglycemia are actually traumatic events for the nervous system, leading to a cumulative decline in overall brain health. The tremors and dizziness are the brain's desperate scream for fuel, but they are often dismissed as just getting older by patients and doctors. We must recognize that every significant drop in blood sugar is a physical assault on the very foundation of who you are, your memory. Recent studies indicate that elderly patients with overly aggressive sugar control face a risk of dementia that is twice as high as others. This isn't a minor side effect. It is a profound healthcare crisis that is robbing millions of their golden years of clarity and joy. The data is clear. Forcing a 70-year-old's body to act like a 20-year-old's body through chemistry is a recipe for neurological disaster. Consider the case of Dorothy, a 79-year-old who prided herself on her health but found herself in the back of an ambulance. She didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. She suffered a catastrophic fall that changed her life forever, in an instant. Moments before, she felt a slight wave of dizziness, a common side effect of her intensive diabetes medication that she had learned to ignore. That small drop in blood sugar led to a loss of balance, a fractured hip, and a long road of painful surgeries and rehabilitation. For the elderly, a fall is often the beginning of a final decline, yet many of these falls are caused by the medication itself. The medical community is finally realizing that tight control of sugar can be more dangerous than having slightly elevated levels in later life. Dorothy was a victim of a system that prioritized numbers on a chart over the actual physical safety and stability of the patient. I want you to take a moment and think about your own situation or that of your loved ones who are managing this condition. How old are you? What was your most recent A1C reading? Have you noticed any changes in your memory or balance lately? If you experience dizziness or confusion, please share your story in the comments below. Your experience could save someone else's life today. We are a community learning together, breaking the silence on the hidden dangers of modern medical protocols for the aging population. Health is about more than avoiding a high number. It is about the quality of every moment you spend with your family and friends. When we find the right balance for our age, we regain the energy to live fully, without the constant fear of a sudden crash. I encourage you to become an active participant in your health care rather than just a passive follower of old, rigid guidelines. Ask your doctor, is this blood sugar target truly safe for my brain? Your memory and your identity depend on that very answer. Do not let the obsession with perfect numbers rob you of the laughter and the stories that make your life worth living. The goal of medicine should be to keep families together and memories intact, ensuring that the golden years are truly bright and clear. Take charge of your health today by starting a new conversation with your medical team about personalized, age-appropriate care targets. Your life is more than a data point on a chart. It is a collection of precious memories that deserve your protection. Remember, the most important indicator of health is how you feel and how well you can remember the people you love. Stay safe.